Welcome everybody, this is Evelyn and I have two reads for you today. The message of the day, which is the Metatron deck, Nature's Whispers and Shaman Dreams, as well as my 7-deck read that's on the table. So I want to get right into it because I just finished doing the message of the day, which was a lot of stuff coming through again. We're going to roll the die as well, but let's take a few deep breaths first. Let's go ahead, first breath. Okay, let's take another deep breath. You too, Teddy. Take a deep breath. One more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings to everybody. I hope you're having a great day. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go ahead and roll the die. Today is the 1st of August, guys. Welcome to August. We're in the Lionsgate energies, where we're peaking around the 8th of August in alignment with Sirius. And today, August 1st, 2022, adds up to 15, which is the devil or the shadow side of things. So we have the 1 today, also the magician. So there's very powerful energies there between the devil and the magician. So let's see what comes up with the dice. For the twin flames today, August 1st, 2022, we have the 4, which is the energy of building, stability, structure. It's also manifestation of survival as opposed to dreams of the 8. And then we have Jupiter, which looks like a 4 as well. So Jupiter is about expanding things and benevolence and Sagittarius, and 4 is also Aries with the Emperor and the 4th month, which also includes going into Taurus as well. And then we have Capricorn here. So we have Capricorn, which is cardinal, and Sagittarius, which is mutable, and then Aries, which is also cardinal. And they do both look like 4s as well. And there's that 44 of the 44/8. And then the Capricorn, which I'm getting as 8 right now, which normally is Leo. But I'm getting that the strength part of the Capricorn, the different kind of strength than the Leo, is coming up here for some reason under the 8. So let's see what else comes up here with this read today. All right, so here is the picture of my read today. It's the same 3 decks I've been using. I'm getting a lot of good messages coming through with these decks. I have the Metatron deck here with the underlying energies here, and the pile that I had to count over here. And then the read came out as these cards. And then Nature's Whispers here with the cards that came out, as well as these two. There's 3 cards coming out together here, and then this is the pile I had to count. And then Shaman Dreams, again, the underlying energies, the cards that came out. Again, these 3 came out together, and then this is the pile I had to count. I'm going to show it up a little bit closer too, so you can see Nature's Whispers. There's a lot of detail in those cards, as well as the Shaman Dreams. Okay. All right, so this started out, I dealt these cards 926 to 929 this morning. The 9 of the Hermit, the 26 of the Page of Wands, and the 29 of the 3 of Wands, being present in the moment. And the underlying energies were the Cosmos, which is number 20, be yourself, your best self always, which is number 24, the Queen of Wands. 20 is also the Judgment card or the wake-up call. And then 26 is the gathering around of the community with the Page of Wands, which is that inspiration. And we had the wake-up call of the Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands to mirroring being your best self, inspired and inspiring the group. After receiving healing, the Mother Blue holding space for Sirius alignment, present with gifts, Sirius star seeds with Beetle and Bella twins, and Procyon comes up. So here's coming up the winter triangle of Sirius, Betelgeuse, and Procyon. Sirius is coming up as the star seeds with Beetle and Bella twins, is Betelgeuse and Bellatrix. And then Procyon is the descendants, the guardians, the heirs to the throne, a shoot or a twig out from the trunk, the treasure chest, a barrel of monk keys, or laughs. So the triangle is coming up as the very light energy of the star seeds, the twins, and the Godhead, basically those that are the descendants of the One, the singularity. So we have the Mother Mary and the sword and the stone, the blue-silver alignment and arrangement of Archangel Michael's shield and Orion's bow, Michael's sword, arrow, and word, and Metatron's bow, stone, and rainbow bridge, tone. The divine masculine and the divine feminine is the divine masculine is coming up as the divine feminine's protector. The divine feminine is the divine masculine's touchstone and tone, the calming factor, the bridge in the song that takes you there. The mother's gift of union here with Madonna and the warriors of light, and she's very much representative of warriors. The high vibe destiny of the new dawn of Aquarius, which is Aqua and Rius, the emotion and laughter, the emotion of laughter and play. In the sun's phased arrays, leaving a sine wave trail behind, like breadcrumbs, to remind you and others the way back to the sun portal, and Sirius, Daddy, reflecting the dark pentagon with council of 12 faces, 20 points and 30 sides, the dodeca crystalline vehicle of the divine feminine support system. The mother, father, the sun, and the moon are coming up as the son and the daughter, and each child connects to the like parent center, their hearts, like Sirius is the central sun, and then the light heart of Gaia. So the moon's connecting to the center of the earth as the daughter, and the sun connects to the center of the sun as the father, and the sun's rays. So the first card that came up was communication at 9:51, which is the Hermit and the King of Swords. Communication with instrument and shell, so the separate mouthpiece has been coming up all week. The mouthpiece or reed or the shell that you might blow on, the freedom of expression, and the Knight of Swords key to freedom from codependency. The messenger of truth, the chamber music. The lungs are like drums, pa-ra-pa-pa-pum. So here with the little drummer boy, and the crows had been talking all morning, the talking crows or counting crows, whatever it comes up as. At 9:55, the Hermit's truth of the little drummer boy, pa-ra-pa-pa-pum, which is coming up as para, papa, and pum. Hail to the newborn king, pa-ra-pa-pa-pum, where para has a whole lot of definitions, including the descendants, the all light, the alighted one. To flag down or to be in the presence of, flagging down a vehicle, but stopping them like a pit stop on the racetrack, to alight them, to descend, dismount, for lightning to strike, to leap or mount, to spring forth, alleviate, relieve, and literally Jesus coming down to earth, the incarnation of the Holy Spirit, the angels, to appear from a merger of, to make easy. But there's many other definitions, including horse and cork, which I posted literally on my tag the other day for my twin flame read. Also was coming up is the odd couple. Literally the definitions were couple, odd, and pair, right? So the odd couple, and then rain, as well as preparations or defense. Preparations are coming up as being defensive or deflecting actions. And then the pum of pa-ra-pa-pa-pum, pum is coming up as the apple, the bang, the bam, like bam bam. Also comes up as the fart. And the number 5, which is freedom and speech and change and expansion, as well as the copal, which is coming up as the resin exudate. And resin can be attached to crystal or even quartz broken down. So I just want to make sure there wasn't anything I missed on that page. All right. So at 10:15, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the 15 of the Devil or the shadow side, the Papa to descend in a lightning strike here as we bring together the Para, the Papa, and the Pum. The Horse and Cork, the Alien and the Odd Couple, 24 hours of Pebbles, and the apple of their eye of Bam Bam, the apple of Bam Bam's eye, apples and oranges, to humble oneself, to incarnate and lose rank, the breath, the steam, the preparations as defensive or deflective actions, because you're making preparations just in case, right? So you're giving yourself an out in case your prime trajectory doesn't work. The miracle of Papa's bang and apple, the Big Bang apple creation, the Big Bang theory, the crystalline exudate, the blue apple, which is actually the olive, of Adam and Eve, Adam and Eve after 24 hours of light, where Jesus and Hail Mary in the welcoming of the odd couple, King of the Hill and Hail to the Queen, the capital Q of the quantum and the kingdom of the K, which is energy, and rain, purple rain, the Prince of Darkness, and the Princess of Di, which you'd think is Diana, but it was actually coming up as Diana Ross, as Michael's white glove purifies Virgo. And the Leo, after the Leo, Megan takes the hit in public, obviously, like Diane did. The energy of again, I'm going to start this again, of Jesus and Hail Mary and the welcoming of the odd couple, of King of the Hill and Hail to the Queen, the capital Q for quantum and the kingdom of K for energy, and the rain, the water, the purple rain, the purge and the deluge. The flood is the purge, the Prince of Darkness and the Princess of Di, as Leo Megan takes the hit in public, and as Michael's white glove purifies in Virgo. Will, Libra, balance the Scorpion's sting, which is our current president right now, as Sagittarius, Mr. Ed, or extra dimensional, presents Capricorn, Martin Luther, who came up yesterday, Martin Luther King, by popping a cork in the emotion of laughter, with the child star Tyler Henry, which they were telling me Martin Luther came back in Henry, as the age of Aquarius. As Oprah on Apple TV, and as I continued, a police car pulled right up in front of my house across the street and parked, and I don't know what they were doing over there, but they were there from 10:51 to 10:53. And he put on 2 big white gloves, as I just told you about Michael Jackson's white gloves. I don't know what he was doing. There's something in the back of his truck. He got out and he looked in the back and they put some white rubber gloves on and a towel. I don't know what he was doing. I guess he was cleaning something out that got messed up in the car. And then he put them back. But there's big white gloves, and you never normally see rubber gloves as white, so it's so weird that they were white, as I'm talking about Michael Jackson's white glove. So then we go into Pisces, as the fish swims with Diana Ross, because she is born in Aries, and then the Taurus, or Taurus field supreme, with twin prince, and back to Sirius star, again in August on 8/8. And I got a call right then from Harleysville at 10:59, which is the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune and the 59 of the 5 of Swords, the 11th hour kind of energy of the war within. The anticipation always makes me think of Rocky Horror. So the wake-up call here, and it was coming up as the wake, in the wake of something, like a boat's wake, the wake up, which is coming up as the sine wave trail, the wake-up call to purge up, to throw up, but not throw up like throwing up in a toilet, throw up, to purge up, the clarion call the projectile of the waking sine wave trail, the chucking of cookies or breadcrumbs, so to speak, after the wine of the Last Supper, and free will to express any way you want to, the Knight of Swords of the twin tree, of the emerald order of crystallized green, a close-up view of the green leaves at the end of the tree, like the grandchildren, the twin tree, the Knight of Cups progeny, the inner child that becomes the outer child in your offspring, carrying the weight of the world as inherited from you, where light springs eternal. From the aqua rose gold heart of the six in love, the love train of harmony, the train, the residual resin, which is coming up as re-side and re-sin, the tea train, the para rain of Papa's plum apple, the apple of his eye, as the indigo 21, who's now whole and complete, is aligned with Lord Sirius as the crazy eights, as the apples don't fall far from the tree. With the emerald, which is the M and the herald and then AMA, the mother separates against medical advice or against her own advice, the mother's advice. The M in urgent wave order in magnetic sine wave of the Knight of Cups to the shaman's truth. And remember, the sine wave comes up as the Queen's wave as well. At 11:14, which is the justice of alignment, and the 14 of the temperance card of a higher love, of patience and balance. At 11:15, and then takes you to the shadow side of that, the angel and the devil, as the indigo and the shaman native join forces in collective awakening, the flowering of Terra and Gaia, the terrestrial, which is Terra's trial. That's the dark night of the soul. It is purgatory. Purgatory is the 4D bridge. To gain the Mammy, which is coming up as the, coming up from the I of Gaia for G and then AIA. To gain Mammy, like, you know, the one who was there to raise you that wasn't your mother, even if your mother was there, like someone who had a babysitter or a live-in who took care of them, you know, which used to be the maid or the mammy, used to take care of the children when the mother was there. The water, that which feeds you, which quenches your thirst. The lady in wait, the teacher. The chambermaid, which has to do with resonance. The maid of watery emotions in the chamber of resonance. Resin once, or crystal Anna, which is central ground or the central space. The aunt, the mother, the father. Friday, the feeding place, like happy hour, bringing things to completion at the end of the week in order to make things manageable. At 11:24 is the justice of alignment and the 24 of the Queen of Wands, where then 23 cards came up, which is the King of Wands. At the bottom of it all was the purge, the endings, the 45 of ending things every day in the sunset. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic thing. If you allow it to, you allow your emotions to go with the flow in the natural progression of each day. In the sunset, look at the compassion of the sunset on the horizon. And then at the top of it all is the joy of the yellow and the one of the magician, the magic. The carpenter bee and the buttercup yellow of JC and Mary Magdalene, making magic joy, transmuting light and dark in the chaos of the sun, which is life. Chaos and death is control. The dance of leading the way with flame in hand, the ring of keys in the other, answering the call to climb up and in a spiral motion as the dragon watches over with fiery breath in inspired Metatron rainbow form. Met at Ron, at rainwash, circle, ring, sharp, leaf, roe deers, or heroin or rum, which can be the heroine, the savior as well. Metatrill of being on is also coming up as Metatron. The ether is the dragon's breath. The wind beneath your wings. The air in your lungs when you are inspired. The transition through air with the greatest of ease. As the sunlight breaks through the humidity, the hum of the id, the ego, and the I-ty, being in gratitude, to from humidity to humility, changing the D to an L to co-create with gratitude at just the right angle. The Page of Wands, pink, of compassion, inspired to self-love and nurture, the life bulb of the womb of the phased rays that matches the sun's rays coming down, the 26 of the inspiration of the new child, the Magdalena scalloped shell in the womb of pure compassion, and the 7, which is the vehicle of water, water, water here, for emotional well-being, your chariot on the journey from orange to gold, as the last stop before gold is purification. 32 is the journey, and the time is 11:36 of alignment and the Atlas energy of the weight of the world. Then the 16 of the Holy Grail, and 16, as you know, is the Tower in sudden events, the Holy Grail of sudden burst to get across to that last stop, God's rail, the Grail, the time out for the rain or the train, the water train, connecting from the heart to infinitum, from the meet and greet of sunrise with your family and getting your wishes, to the 1-to-1 Two of Cups on the whispering bench, the canoe, the ark, the happiness hotel, the Muppets know. The Queen of Wands stretches and lunges to connect and attune up to wisdom of the Akashic records for review with Archangel Sandalphon, as I refer to him as Saint Dolphin, where the sand or land meets phone home, the path of dew at the right angle, reflecting inward, to Lyra on the number 22, which is the 5D station from the 33 bridge to the Christ consciousness, getting off at the 5D station, which is coming up as the Fool's Journey, the number 22 of the 5D station, where then you can go anywhere you want. The Fool's Journey of an open heart and leap of faith, the 0 point at 11:44 of justice and grounding, integrating, and mastering, receiving of love, the jump-off point where all roads lead home, out of space and time. The Queen of Cups, or the 38, the Mary Magdalene energy, with activated light body, stands on the number 22 platform after Christ brought them to consciousness. The key to who you are is the 46 of the loving inner and outer children, of the 18 of the 0 point field, of cubits with a C and cubits with a Q. The cubits has to do with the Egyptian queen's chambers. There are 11 cubits with a C, and the Q with the cubits is the 2 who are raised to the nth degree. You know, minding your C's and Q's, your whispering bench, and your quantum twin flame energy, the Mother Earth for grounding support, for heaven in your eyes, and variety, the spice of life, healthy natural food, synchronicities, and good company. As the 35 of the Wounded Warrior, Kundalini rises at 11:48, walking away within, into the energy fields you've never been to before. Shower with diamond white light for clarity on the shadow within, to the castle on a cloud, the purple moon, the 0 point field for the 54 of the Page of Swords, the one with the message, the mercurial energy, from Mercury, the winged messenger. And then at sunset, purge with compassion in the horizon that you are held, like the flame, gazing into infinitum. And then Nature's Whispers, which came up at 11:51 to 52, which is the King and Queen of Swords in alignment. The underlying energy of being gentle with yourself in the awakening to unity, your show of power and gratitude, U-Ni-Ty. The 36 of Atlas and the intuition, the Atlas Intuit North Pole connection, with the brain on fire with growth and expansion, to the union of the 30 and the adventure of bridging separate lands or mountains. All it takes is sharing a piece of each other in a suspension bridge, the sagging bridge, the sag union, the SA of G, or the SA of God, the spiral love, say G, or Sagi, the horse with no name, the bridge across troubled water, by air and by sea, the bridge and the tunneling, the algae and the shells, the mermaid, who's the maid of the sea, on the seahorse, giddy and giddy up, as the maiden Andromeda was saved from her chains by a piece of Pegasus's self called Perseus, which they remain. Pegasus and Andromeda linked to this day. She so loves her seahorse, forsaking Poseidon's rule, calling Jesus instead his uncle, and made Madeline or Magdalena. Pegasus in the likeness of himself, Mr. Ed of course, and the drama of Cassiopeia pissing on her parade as the W, the wounded warrior, the very emotional one, and the 37 of the ideal course of action, and then Oaxaca was coming up in Mexico again, of unconditional love, bridging the castle with the iguana lady of nature, the mermaid and the seahorse, the Mexican lady and her iguana, the unconditional loving of all creatures, in a leap of faith onto the number 22 platform of the 5D train, the 5D station, a fine line or web between life or death, with invisible catch below, making magic on a tightrope, always knowing that you're safe, right? Because you have faith. So Madonna's coming up in borderline, which feels like I'm going to lose my mind. You just keep on pushing my love over the borderline at 1218, which is the hanging man and wisdom, and the 18 of the 0 point field and that purple moon. So both Prince and Madonna are coming up here. And then one fine day you'll look at me and you'll know our love was meant to be. So one fine day was coming up, you're going to want me for your girl, which is written by, you would think it was from the Chiffons, but actually Carole King wrote it. So not only do we have Martin Luther King, the kings, the different ones, because Elvis came up as the king as well, but we were talking about the Michael King. All of these kings are coming up. I was just getting Billie Jean as well, and that's referencing to Michael and Billie Jean King. So the kings are all coming up, and that was all at 1221. One fine day, we'll meet once more, and then you'll want the love you threw away before. One fine day, you're going to want me for your girl. And then 42 came up, and by the way, that was performed in 1963. The 42 is the Two of Cups, of let love be your beacon and blush. All the sides of the feminine coming up. And then the song came up, she may be the face I can't forget, a trace of pleasure or regret, may be the treasure or the price I have to pay. So of course, that's coming up from Notting Hill, where Julia Roberts is on the screen as the energy of that, that perfect female. The 1227 of the Hanging Man and the 27 of the Ace of Wands, and that inspiration of wisdom, the 35 of the Wounded Warrior and their culmination of their vision, right? Finishing the Wounded Warrior's path. In the time of the fall, as the 20 is the wake-up call to higher ground of the fairy and the rose, above the sheep, on a leaf, at the end of the tree, the 26 of the progeny, the Page of Wands, be true to yourself and all that you are, as an extension of the source. The 1231 of the Hanging Man and the 31 of Chaos and the groups. The playing of games and acting, and the 14 cards came up here. The 14 of the Temperance, of patience and balance and that higher love. And at the bottom of it all was the 50 of emotional fulfillment and that potential gateway, the tree's heart, the family tree. And at the top of it all here was the 4 of the Emperor and stability and the pause of the sweetheart touching her touchstone, the little girl and her father. Time out for the little fairy girl to touch the trunk of the tree, the father or emperor, and this can even be a mother who has behaved as the father in her life. The 19 as the sun is called to shift the energy to the mothership, and the 49 of heightening your vitality to your own signature light. The 18 of the daughter with new experiences and possibilities as the green lady Andromeda riding her Pegasus as an earthly horse, because he's humbled himself to come down to earth, transforming the round table as the castle, the round table at the castle as one of us. So here's bringing the female into the round table. The 34 of the energetic exchange of vulnerability and the little girl floating on a leaf as the progeny, allowing herself to be vulnerable and fall as fall approaches now. At 1:14, I then took a little break actually because my daughter came in to talk to me. And I came back to the read with the 40 of the Page of Cups to show your support to the vulnerable ones. The 5 of freedom and change and clearing out the old, the dark and the dingy. The 47 of being laughter and playing with signs and synchronicities and not taking them so seriously. Have fun with them. The signs and synchronicities and the leaf on the earth. The children riding their avatars in that energy of play and having fun. The 7 of the chariot of the little fairy girl making ripples in the water that amplifies those childlike emotions, along with the ancient ones standing nearby. The 8 of the strength and the dance of manifesting of dreams and the breakthrough of the stretch and opening your heart to the sea, and the sea. Seeing with your eyes, all of your eyes, seeing with your ocean of emotion in all of them, seeing with the sea of the Christ or unity consciousness in the whispering bench, and the butterfly transformation, the dance of the sea. The 44 of seeking beauty in self, receiving love, covered in wishes, and the 43 of coming together in joy, where love matters, letting the old ship sail and the spaceship come in, as the bird opens up to reveal what's inside, the bubblegum prize, the illuminated heart in the tree at the edge of borealis opalescent waters, emotional fulfillment, the potential gateway, or in other words, the happy family is that potential gateway. The 125 is the Magician and the Knight of Wands of the Shaman deck now, and the underlying energies there of the 59 of the Wailing Tree and the Purge inside, the imprisonment, the 34 of the Lay of the Land, of the energetic exchange, of getting to the peak, like the goat finally making it to the top of the mountain, and now having a whole different perspective from up there. They can actually see what's on the ground. The 18 of the Eyes of the Eagle, again from the eagle's nest, and the 26 of the Gathering, post-war, purge, to going from that wounded warrior of the post-war purge to the King of the Hill, the prisoner to success, able to get a lay of the land from a top perspective, the eagle's nest, becoming an oracle, rising above the fray, and the 26 of the Page of Wands, inspired to then gather the community around. At 128, the Magician and the Twin Flames, the 63 of the Winter's Dream, in a birthing period, right? That very difficult birthing period of going through pregnancy. To be inspired by the winter and get to that winter's dream, one must take the fall. The 56 of the Wall, that peace of mind that you said was peace of mind, but it was just a wall that you put up so others couldn't get in and only you could see out. The wall of peace of mind and quote unquote the show, and the curtains that divide us, right? That's being an actor, right? Keeping them separate with the curtains so that they can't break your projection, right? Because you're acting, you're not being yourself. The 25 of the Knight of Wands, the Garden of Venus, of rest and renewal, of pampering oneself. So after going through this self-imprisonment, getting to that Garden of Venus as the Knight of Wands, right? Very passionate for life now, with rest and renewal and allowing oneself to be pampered. At 131, the Magician and the 31 of Chaos again, of the Sun, which is there for us to mold and transmute into something that we can work with. the 38 of the Queen of Cups of the Mary Magdalene, and the many masks of the authentic self of the Divine Feminine, under pressure of separation, and green nature's squeezing of that coal in a vacuum of a maze, in amazing grace and revelation of unmarked trail, the T-rail. The Orient Express was coming up here. To the Taj Mahal of good and plenty, the overflow of coming together in joy. The Page of Wands becoming the Knight of Wands, coming out of their shell to the Queen of Cups after she went through separation and the pressure of coming together in joy. The 50 of emotional fulfillment of the spirit of the river in moving toward abundance and adventure. And the 21 of completion and wholeness, of ending the cycle and going into that very first breath, of the beginner's mind, the perpetual student, and listening to what each planet has to say. The 52 of the Queen of Swords, straddling worlds in the sky bridge of synchronicities and heaven on earth, with possibility for union with a curious stranger, the Knight of Swords, who's looking deep into themselves, as she keeps the worlds straddled and together, as she bridges them together, gives them time to dive deep. The 141 is the Magician, and the 41 of the Ace of Cups. And the 33 cards came up here with the Unity Consciousness. And at the bottom of it all is the 55 of the Truth, the Excalibur, and the Ace of Swords, the Farther Gate. And at the top of it all was the Cosmic Womb, the Mother's Gate, the womb. The Divine Feminine Lover, and the 15 of the Dust Devil, moving out of stagnation, kicking up the dust of the 40 of the Page of Cups and a group think tank at 11:44 to 45, which is actually my time of birth, putting all the pieces together for the number 12, the Dragon's Hoard, wisely protecting our future, our progeny. The 31, in the hand, the universe is your partner in group endeavors as we take in the light, which sometimes may be too much for one to handle, so you come together in groups to play with the Play-Doh and mold it and shape it. The 41 of self-love, and the Holy Grail of the Moon Maiden, with new beginnings here. The 19 of the Sun, falling angel in the sun, after holding up the moon, wanting to go back to sleep because they're tired, but they can't. The 10 of the wake-up call and the destiny of high vibration. The deep diver, who was diving while she's holding the bridge up, the deep diver is destined to dive in or dive right into a task. The 16 of sudden emptiness, and then it's time to replenish after a hard day's work. The 22 of the Fool's Journey in child's pose, embracing and transmuting the pain in that cannonball on a new journey of orange to gold. At the 5D station of the number 8 in the 8 dance of the 5D and Augustus crown games and right use of power, where the jester is no longer entertaining the king on stage, right, hiding their true selves with only a little peek hole there. The jester is no longer entertaining the king, and the king is removing their crown. Hats off to them, because it is the victim in the middle who just made the change, aligning in the deep quiet of meditation and stillness for truth and balance, for the victim to make the shift in the middle, pulling both sides of the savior and the perpetrators down, right? The crown's been taken off. The 5 of the closing door, and with completion comes change, moving to peace as the ancient one's totem. Person to person, piggyback in God's love as the benefactors of grace and abundance, and actually abundant grace and generosity, enjoying the show from the mushroom. It's like the drive-in theater, but the beautiful little guys in the mushroom who is the epitome of what you want to feel like. They're in the mushroom enjoying the show, the place where they can get all mushy and cuddly, all cuddled up. The 45 of the purging to repair the veil with forgiveness and binding the pages back together, which can reference the pages of your story, but also the pages, the young ones, bringing them back together, the inner children. The walking away and within, the sky dancers surrender from orange to gold. Orange is the orangutan, the forest or veggie man, to gold, which is God, the old or ancient one. The 51 of the King of Swords, and the stars in the sky, where he's meditating in the middle of the bridge in the dark and realizing these limitless possibilities. At 158, the Magician and the 5D connection between the twins. The 33 of the Joyful Muse, inspired by music, the muse of the inner child. The 23 of the King of Wands and Fortune's Wheel, with luck and right timing, and discernment. The 4 of the Cat ER pillar, the opportunity with the Emperor, the Vet, the ER, or an urgent build, or the whispering bench at the winding road, or in unwinding the trail or spine, or muscular pillar of compassion. The 9 of the Hermit dancing on one foot, because she's very good at the balancing act of getting their wish. The Moth to the Flame and the Wounded Warrior 35, who had lost their way. 11 to 11 is now getting back to their integrity with discernment. The 62 of releasing treasures hidden in the shadows in that deep imprisonment, and the presence you received from being there, and in the will and power of the whisper. The 36 of Atlas, lost in space and now needing direction, as the 54 of the Page of Swords, or Mercury, needing the message needed at the crossing over in order to initiate. The 2 of the High Priestess, Divine Feminine, with her heart on fire, with beloved radical acceptance. The 1 of the Magician, with a tidy house for clarity and organization, or perhaps she is passionate and he likes to clean. And we have 14 of Patience and Balance and a higher love, the Drifter experiencing life as it comes and letting go, and the 55 of the Farther Gate, the Truth, or Excalibur, or perhaps the X's caliber, and 2 suns and 2 gates in this card. As I told you, the rear gate has closed, which is coming up like the root chakra is closed, while Lion's Gate is open to the sacral chakra, to 2 suns in a bold step forward, from the womb to the sun, the mother's love to the father's truth and wisdom, the risk of awakening to your true self, in the Garden of Ease Den, and the palace of, first came up Versailles, which is very well versed in how to make things go well and attend, or to add garlic. They're very adept at the journey. They're very well versed at tripping and aging well. And then the Palace of Athena, of course, came up, which I ended up on ascension-research.org. By the way, they have some very beautiful channelings there, so you might want to check them out. So Palace of Athena, the divine goddess of truth, the emerald ray, the lord of karma, and she's all about wisdom, the arts, the industry, justice, and skill. And she's represented by the spear, the owl, and the olive branch, which is the blue apple, is the olive. And so Francis Bacon was supposed to be the last incarnation of Saint Germain, was the one who coined Shakespeare, because that was a reference to shaking up the spear of truth at human ignorance. And she lies at the Temple of Truth above Crete. So there was she coming up there. So that was your message today. So ending in the Garden of Ease Den and the Palace of Athena, a mystery to all. Palace Athena, the divine goddess of truth, the emerald ray, the lord of karma, coming up here. So again, the masculine and the feminine of Eden and then Versailles, right? She is the garden and he is the palace. He's very adept at the journey, well tripped and aging well, and she's very good at the garden. Perhaps she is the constant gardener, or maybe vice versa. It depends on how much masculine and feminine you have in your connection. So now we go back to the 7-deck read on the table, which is a pretty quick one today. And so here is the read on the table today from the SIRIAN Starseed deck. Okay, and then here is the 7-deck read with all the decks. Okay, and so here the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut at 6:17 last night with the Lovers and the Star, and then at 6:38 to 39, which is the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Cups, Lovers, You are of orbs came up. You are of thoughts and words. You are of blind men and orphans. And the 640 came up of giveness. You are of the thoughts and words, the blind men and orphans of giveness. The 6 of the lovers, the 40 of the page of cups, of that innocent purity. And at 652 is the lovers and the queen of swords, where the major arcana came up of just the wheel of fortune in the main part of the read, the great wheel. And before the read was alchemy. Alchemy came up before the read, which is the energy of the temperance card. And then after the read, transition of the death card and reflection of the hermit came up. And by the way, the underlying energy there is the king of cups right here underneath the mini cards there as the underlying energy. And he is upright in the read. So we had 3 cups, 1 pentacle, 5 wands, a lot of wand energy here, fire, and then 1 sword. 3151, which is the chaos of 31 and the 5 of wands, and the 51 of the king of swords. The king of cups came up in the read, as well as the king of pentacles and the page of wands. And after the read, the queen of cups came up. Before the read, the queen of pentacles came up. So we have a lot of masculine energy in the read, surrounded by the queen of pentacles before and the queen of cups after. And also the 9 of wands and 9 of cups came up in the read, which can be the wounded warrior and then the one who's satisfied emotionally. So there were double 9s, and that was it as far as the numbers and doubles. The 99 is all about compassion and endings, and the 1 and the all. And the 3, 5, 7, and 10 came up as the most significant numbers other than the 99. The 3 of the Empress, the 5 of the Hierophant, the 7 of the Chariot, and the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune. We also had 13 of the Transition of the Death card, 34 of the Energetic Exchange, Hours of Love, of the 8 of Wands, the 45 of the Purge, of the 5 of Cups, and the 57 of the 3 of Swords, of the Separation and Disappointment. The 79 of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and then 9, 10 begin again and again and again. Every time you expand out, you have to come back to the heart again in the present moment. The code line here is all about the 54, which is the energy of Mercury, that page of swords, with 5, 39, and 10. The 5 of the Hierophant, 39 of the Knight of Cups, and the 10 of the Great Wheel. The message came up as so. And by the way, the card was forgiveness that came up on the code line. It was coming up in forgiveness. The key of Sophia in the sudden event, in mastering freedom. The 3 hermit kings, like the 3 wise men, but also the 3 hermit kings that I brought up in my message, I suppose. So who did I bring up? I brought Martin Luther King. Michael Jackson came up, and they're saying specifically Michael, not Elvis. Michael Jackson, and then Billie Jean came up later, but that's not the 3rd king. Oh, Carole King came up. And Carole King. Those were the 3 hermit kings coming up. Atlas and seeking the contents of Eve. The giveness to the emperor. I'm getting the emperor's new shoes as well. And the 4 of the stability. And again, here's that energy of the jester presenting themselves before the emperor. The key of time out, if and only if. The master of change, the Knight of Cups and the King of Pentacles. The one who loves, and the King of Pentacles is the one who manifests. With Atlas, the weight of the world, seeing the key and not being part of it, right? Being able to be amidst the world and not hermit yourself, but be amidst the world like Jesus and not be affected by it. Knowing that when things are not even, it's just a matter of evening up or eve up. The time out of Sophia, seeing, mastering excitement. The 39 lashes of the King of Pentacles on Atlas, and again the energy of the slave, and the King of Pentacles being the slave driver. To see the key, even if it's not even, to even things up. The Empress or the Knight of Cups between the Master of Freedom and the Master of Manifestation. So again, also manifesting those polarities. With a teaspoon, which is referencing the letter T as well, of the toggling up and the time out. The teaspoon of omega, and omega-3 was coming up there. And C, so maybe vitamin C is coming up as well, but all eyes see, a change in the delta the Empress and the Hermit, King of Pentacles. Burden seeing the key, or seeking the most or most even, like evening things up, forgiveness. The Masters of Guidance and Commitment, the 3 Hermit Wise One, or Kings. The hard work to seek energy of unevenness, to even it out with giveness. All right, so there's your message there. It's all about forgiveness. And the read starts out here, like I said, with the King of Cups and the underlying energy. Beneath that was the 10 of Cups reversed, the Queen of Pentacles upright, the 7 of Pentacles upright, which in this deck is the Divine Feminine's heart in the E Tower, and the 2 of Wands reversed, which is the Twin Flames reversed. And then the King of Cups on top. So the emotionally unfulfilled or unhappy family with the Queen of Pentacles, the Divine Feminine's heart, reaping rewards without options, with the King of Cups who may be grieving here and instead reaping and daydreaming the never-ending story of the Queen of Pentacles. And there was this reference to Teddy, my daughter's doggy, who just turned a year, is a Cancer, going right into Leo. So he's definitely got Leo in him too. He loves to show off and he loves to be the center. What? No, when I looked up the date, it comes up as Cancer.
The 21st of July?
Uh-huh. So, no, sorry, that was my daughter just piping in about her doggy. But he was coming up as referencing, like standing in for the King of Cups there, because he always wants my attention, right? So he's grieving and reaping while I'm doing this because he wants my attention. Reaping and daydreaming instead the never-ending story of the Queen of Pentacles, and depending on or powerlessness to sadness, or the child spending too much to get over their sadness, the temptation to rest, meditate, and pray, the 5D connection, and looking back at the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be tired of being home with the Page of Wands reversed, along with Cancer reversed and the Queen of Swords upright. The King of Cups upright with the Queen of Swords upright, with peace of mind at home, with the Page of Swords message, and again there's Mercury coming in again, of the past falling out, or a difficult childhood, or difficult kids. Little Red Boots coming up, who's all growing up, the celebrating at 11:11, the Page of Swords rising above their past. Give your relationship a chance, and beneath that was true love. This is a romance of a lifetime, and again that can be with yourself. The Page of Pentacles, who's drunk on their grief, no longer is sitting on the fence of inequity, of not sharing their negative past or not sharing with their difficult kids. The birds with sweet tweets and half-eaten food put back, no longer sharing codependency of scissors, magnet, coin on the pillar, or those things left out on the floor. Neighbors may have been talking about somebody drinking too much, or wife with depression issues, or lost in the past, or starstruck. With patience, number 2, and beneath it, intuition, number 22. And remember, intuition is the intuit connection, and the intuit are actually a people in the North Pole, but also it's in your twin tower, you and I connection, the number 22 of the 5D station, and the post-war Queen of Swords, imprisoned by disconnect or at a distance, presenting the truth to the Page of Pentacles and opening their heart to the world. At 7:38, which is the Chariot and the Queen of Cups, which could literally be a Queen of Cups who's a Cancer, and the Page of Pentacles with 2 feathers in their cap, but peacock with the truth and an open heart. They're feeling very whole within themselves. Blue eyes with frog's legs, and she with the world. Pisces, Divine Feminine, he with blue ribbon and penmanship, and she with no prior experience. So why is that fair? The world complete with the King of Cups, or Pisces King of Cups, and the Queen of Swords with a negative past, but no more pining. Patient Divine Feminine High Priestess, or Pisces and Cancer missing each other here at 7:43. Which is the Chariot and the 3 of Cups coming together. And that could just be 2 who love each other now, who are missing each other and coming together. With Capricorn upright and Cancer reversed, and Pisces upright here as well. The 10 of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community, receiving big love from a pet or Leo, child, or strength, of no conflict or games. And in the recent past is the Wounded Warrior, that 9 of Wands, at the workplace with the Emperor reversed and the Empress reversed, who may be gossiping with the Hermit reversed, or coming out to offer help, but being blocked over and over by the King of Wands reversed, who's refusing to fight. Manifesting by walking away from unfair Ten of Cups reversed, a family who's unhappy after a sudden event at work, and the foundation of the Five of Wands reversed, ending conflict in a disconnect or distance or breaking up, and at a distance, avoiding disaster, or after this sudden event or epiphany of the King of Pentacles, set free from a dissatisfying healing, or maybe just being dissatisfied healing. So he could be set free, or he could be setting the other free as well. The King of Pentacles, wounded warrior, whether it's he's the wounded warrior or the wounded warrior is separate from the King of Pentacles, are ending conflict before the King of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups reversed. Or maybe he's healing the conflict between the two of them. And the challenge being the Ten of Wands reversed, of not leaving the wounded warrior behind, hanging out, dumping a load, a burden of responsibilities, and looking back at the Page of Wands reversed, who's stressed out and frustrated, without growth. And the Queen of Cups reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed may be hanging out, making wisecracks while they're working hard, standing up to unwanted advances. And the Queen of Wands reversed, perhaps a Leo, being forced to drink the water, with Dark High Priestess, the man with two lovers, and the Knight of Pentacles, and the King of Wands reversed, as the Knight of Pentacles is offering something healthy, and the King of Wands is refusing to return the affection, with losing patience or fallen angel. The Queen of Cups is reversed, but the Page of Cups is upright here, perhaps offering money, time, or effort, or gifts that were blocked. And now is the Seven of Wands, rising above the drama with flame in hand, the world complete, and the Divine Feminine or Pisces, with the worst now over, or the bliss now coming in, with Judgment upright and at home, and the Knight of Pentacles upright, with Pisces or Divine Feminine, and a wake-up call to the overexposure or out-of-control kids or pets, and the Ten of Wands reversed, confessing only after they're caught, and juggling the King of Swords reversed, who may be out of options, perhaps with their reputation, and blocked by injustice or hostage situation. The Eight of Cups in the avoid dance of the Hermit reversed, coming out about missing flame, and dreaming of the Divine Feminine, and tempted by 2 spoons of sugar that were spilt, and inspecting every inch instead, as the Devil or Capricorn offering the Ace of Pentacles that may have been indebted to their lover or to Gemini or twins. And soon here is the Page of Wands reversed, dumping emotional attachments, holding back an announcement, or the need to swallow their pride and tame the beast. Finding peace away on break or at rest, with the Page of Cups letting go and fixing things up at 8:08, which is Lionsgate. Destined to be stressed out, juggling for tricks, the twin flames destined to receive big love in a split at 8:09, which happens to be my parents' anniversary. And the lovers out in the cold post-war or virus, perhaps committed to the unhappy family with deception and stealing from the Page of Pentacles. The Page of Pentacles may be lying about sending love to the Ten of Cups reversed, or sending their, maybe sending their condolences, or that I can't come, but I'm sending love, like the kids never do what they're supposed to do, like thank you notes and things like that. The Taurus, this could be a Taurus Page of Pentacles, and Libra may be feeling fortunate here. Or at the hospital with family reversed, perhaps their cancer was found and running out of time, or infection was caught just in time. Loving yourself first, releasing the ex, and also religious factors, so the differences between families or between twins, whether it's religion or anything else, culture, age, whatever. Around the twins or how they're seen is the Three of Cups reversed, the bad influence, the partiers, the gossips, or destined third party, the dream girl, rejected by wounded warrior, fallen angel, overworked by the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, perhaps slaving for the man. So again comes up the jester and the emperor or king. The block here is the Nine of Cups reversed, and the dissatisfaction of having to school the goose, right? Why do I have to do that? They should know better. Or why do they have to pay for the kids' education? And that could be in a divorce too, right? Where normal parents don't have to pay for their kids' education. So why in a divorce does the father automatically has to pay for the education? The Queen of Swords upright may be dictating what the magician must do, and of course the magician doesn't like that. Or the Queen of Swords is a Gemini who maybe talks a lot. Forgiveness comes up here, but even more so domestic harmony, spiritual partnership, and pride. as there's a heated exchange and someone needing to swallow their pride, resting, hanging out, inspecting every inch, as the Queen of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups upright are offering time, money, and effort, and blocked growth by Aquarius reversed and Libra upright. On break, standing up to the Queen of Wands reversed and Lover High Priestess destined to walk away from the Knight of Wands reversed player who may be starting over with confession. Pisces or Capricorn resting or 5D connecting with big love that's taking forever for the Queen of Cups reversed to come out to the King of Cups upright, or vice versa. The King of Cups is not fighting destiny or Libra third party, and the Wounded Warrior King of Pentacles is challenged by a confession, or the Page of Wands reversed who's dissatisfied having to defend themselves and lay things to rest, and offer a big love to the Queen of Cups reversed and the King of Cups upright. And that could be like a grandchild to the grandparents, and they don't wanna. But also Scorpio reversed and Virgo reversed are also coming up here. The Divine Feminine without the Twin Flame, the King of Cups giving love to the Wounded Warrior to end the karmic cycle. Ending the conflict with the King of Pentacles, or mastering of manifestation, the challenge being a confession and defending self to rise above the drama. Destined Page of Wands reversed, third party dissatisfied, alone, maybe sleeping alone, and dissatisfied about that, or somebody at the beach with gushing waters or gushing waves, and dead tired of the Queen of Cups reversed, Hermit reversed, or going crazy, of them going crazy with the King of Cups on top. So there's a sexual reference there too, which is kind of funny. So again, someone doesn't like sleeping alone or at the beach. Maybe someone doesn't like being at the beach by themselves. Maybe they don't feel safe. But that could be grandparents or you guys, whatever it is. The third party dissatisfied, sleeping alone or at the beach house with the gushing waves and being dead tired of the Queen of Cups reversed. And she could have Virgo in her chart. It's not coming up as the sun sign here. She's tired of, dead tired of the Queen of Cups. And it's actually the Page of Wands coming up as the one who's tired of it. The Page of Wands is tired of the Queen of Cups reversed, who could have Virgo in their chart. Or the child is tired of them going crazy with the King of Cups on top and having sex. So maybe a child who's hearing their parents have sex, or perhaps their brother or sister having sex in the next room, and they don't want to go with them. At 8:31, which is the dance of the chaos. And the Empress may not be expressing post-war, post-virus, or blocking energetic exchange post-war or virus here, or any kind of infection. It doesn't have to be the you know what. So let's just pull a couple summary cards, see what comes up for you. I'm going to pull the Lenormand first here. Let's see what comes up for you guys. As far as the astrological reads, I'm at Pisces is next. So I'm at least going to get Pisces done, if not Pisces and Aries. I think me and my daughter are going to go to the beach tomorrow, so I probably won't be posting tomorrow. I might at night, depends what time we get home, but I doubt it because I'll probably get home too late. Okay, so what is our takeaway today from this message? So there is the energy of death and transition and into your sovereignty, right? The dance between Dr. Jekyll and Hyde, right? Hiding your true self. And there's a lot of different references in this card, right? Because it's the doctor-patient polarity type of thing of the savior and perpetrator, and being the victim making the switch. When you go into sovereignty, then you dissolve the polarities of the savior and the perpetrator, and the dance between the masculine and feminine here. And there's very much a hospital energy here of hanging in IV, so I don't know if someone's dealing with death or with hospitalization, but this is very much remember that the death is just the transition to the 5D, so it doesn't have to be all that anymore. And we have the 38 of the Queen of Cups and the twin bridges here, and again the reference to August, and then the Fool's Journey of the 22 and the 5D stationing of the Queen of Pentacles here. So we have the Sovereign, the Queen of Cups, that could be a sovereign child too. And then the Queen of Pentacles over here. So either way, we have the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles on the Fool's journey doing the dance over here. And then again, there's feminine energy here too with the 2 again. 22 and 2 came up in the read as well. So very much about the 2s, and again, the 22 station of the Fool's journey with an open heart, taking a leap of faith. And the 5D, which then is a jump off point to anywhere else you want to go. And the 22 of the High Priestess being the lucky charm. And the 6 of diamonds here is the 6 of Pentacles, of sharing, being charitable, or settling out with someone perhaps, or making settlement, I'm getting too. Okay, and then we have the 21 of the completion of the mountain, the challenge to overcome, and the 8 of Wands, which is the energetic exchange, the arrows of love. And there's a buck standing there. We're just waiting to be challenged. And again, there's the energy of toxicity around them, right? The toxicity in the garden with the Queen of Wands here again. And the 7, which is the Chariot. And there could be a marriage here, a toxic marriage. And then the breakthrough to the marriage, to the lovers of the King of Wands here. So there could be that could literally be saying a breakup between the King and Queen of Wands. To be love and take a risk. Okay, and there's a Dark Mother energy, which came up in somebody's read yesterday, the Dark Mother. I think it was the last one. I think it was Aquarius. And then the bottom of the gate, again, is that Dark Mother energy with the Judgment. It was the number 20 in the other deck of Judgment and Envy was coming up. I think that's the energy deck, so I'll pull that next. And then the imprisonment or the release. And again, allergies have been coming up with histamine release with the underlying energy. So I don't know if that's affecting you, but we got the loving man underneath there, the twin flame, making his feelings public in the underlying energy. Let's see what the energy deck has, since that was the cards I was just referencing. So at the bottom of the deck is the masculine, and the top of the deck, the cards that came out, is that dance between the masculine and feminine, and all the different sides of the divine feminine, because that came up yesterday too. All the different masks that she wears, that all of them are, she's not faking, those are all parts of her. She's a very dynamic energy. Right? She may have many different interests or many different ways of being. But it doesn't mean they're not real. And maybe that masculine thinks that was fake because they're very driven in one way and they don't get that other side of things of the divine feminine there. And that came right out. The Knight of Cups, the 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. So the 5th chakra is the throat chakra, so it's very much of opening up and speaking their truth as the Knight of Cups, right? The one coming forward to offer love to the Empress. The 3 of abundance and blossoming abundance here. And the bottom of the deck here, and again, there could be that Queen of Wands is coming up with the Knight of Wands as deceitful. I don't know if there could be 1 or 2. It could be a guy and a girl or a couple, because a scam couple has definitely come up in reads before. So some kind of deception here around this, right? May have been, it's coming up as the reason for the block of the abundance are coming forward with love. And then and financial constraints, the destitution, whichever way it is. And there's that 13 of the death and transition. It doesn't have to be such a big deal anymore. It's just maybe the reasons why things were happening in separation or heartbreak and trying to heal a broken heart as well, or disappointments going on. The bottom of the deck is the Healer of Ages, the 51 of the King of Swords. So again, the masculine's coming up at the bottom of the deck as the underlying energy. And again, dealing with the Angel of Love and getting their wish. Or somebody, a child perhaps, or someone behaving like a child, always wanting to get their way. That could be coming up as well. We have somebody walking away as well. Okay, so somebody's walking away, inspired by something else. There could be another very loving child around. Or again, like I said, someone who expects to get their wish all the time. And here's the Divine Masculine as the King of Swords, the Healer of the Ages. And again, coming out and making his feelings public of abundance, or the Empress here. And dealing with the Knight of Wands, or even the Queen of Wands was coming up in the read as well, as the deceitful energy here. And perhaps it doesn't have to be financial, but any kind of practical constraints that they're dealing with because of an ending, a death, a separation, or some kind of heartbreak, or separation, or disappointment with the Hermit. Okay. All right, you guys. So remember your water, your sleep, your joy, and your nature. Make sure to put your feet outside. And you know the drill. Follow your own resonance, your own knowing, and rise and be love. Love and rise. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.